Depreciation Deduction Worksheet. How to calculate depreciation deduction for your asset to put on line or in column G of line 19. We have Depreciation Worksheet PDF that we sell at liberdownload.com that you could use to record your assets, and it comes with a summary of depreciation which just address section B of part 3 of form 45cc2. Depreciation and amortization is just a summary of what you need to know to be able to depreciate an asset you place in service during the year. So you have a short summary to refresh your memory, and based on the assets when you place it in service, it's good to track information on the assets. We have a business asset depreciation sheet that goes along with the summary, and we have depreciation deduction by asset as well. So once you purchase the asset and place it in service, you will enter the name of the asset, and the worksheet is by assets. The date you purchase the asset, and you will scroll down, and we can just use an example. It comes with example, and we can use the example to illustrate how to calculate the depreciation deduction. So assuming you purchase a laptop on February 7, 2020 and start using it in your business the same day, you will put laptop for asset name, the date, and the date you place in service, February 2020, the cost 1,000, and you use 100% for business. So the calculations here, which is pretty much the business use and percentage use total is 100%. The market value will be the same as the cost because you place in service the same year, so you'll enter 1,000, and the cost for business use will be 1,000 times 100% on line 11, and cost for business use and investments use will be 1,000 from line 15 times line 13, the percentage of business and investment use. That'll be 1,000. We are not taking any section 179, no special depreciation. And line basis for depreciation will be line 17, cost for business use and investment use minus any section 179 and minus any special depreciation. So the total will be 1,000. So, and you pretty much enter those information when you are ready to calculate the depreciation, but you enter the information related to the date you purchase, the date you place in service, and the cost as you purchase and start using the laptop. So assuming that the laptop has been placed has been the only asset placed in service, or we didn't place any other asset in service during the last 3 months of the year, automatically we know we'll use a half year convention, and that will be column E. And we will look for the recovery period. For a laptop is 5 year property, so the recovery period for that column D is GDS/5, and you will find it in the let's see here, recovery period GDS5. So you will enter that as well. And depreciation method, here we choose 200% declining balance under GDS, and we'll put is the default. You could put it or you can leave it, but let's see here, the depreciation method will be 200 space dB. So let's go back again, and month, quarter placed in service is February, and we need to find the rate. So knowing the recovery period, the convention, and the depreciation method, and the depreciation system, we will find the rates table to use. So the depreciation system GDS, we want to use depreciation method 200%. The recovery period is 5, and convention half year we have HY. And in case I didn't mention it, convention half year will go here under column E, convention HY. And knowing the convention and the asset class is 5, property class like 5, so that will be the first column, the first row, the table is A1. So we will scroll down, and we have to write that A1 on our depreciation worksheet for that particular asset, and that's table A1. So we come to our sheet and we write table rate to use A1, and we are done with the depreciation, the business assets depreciation sheet. Once we cover everything and we know the basis for depreciation, which is 1,000, now we'll use the depreciation deduction sheet. Asset name laptop, the basis for depreciation is the 1,000 at the bottom of the previous sheet we just worked on. So 1,000, we have column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, and column 5. And we have the recovery periods here, and the recovery period, if we come back to, is 5 years. Recovery period 5, and we do have it on our sheet here as well, GDS 5. And let's see, yeah, you can find it on the instruction and the publication. You'll find, I believe, in page 30 or 32, but instructions is on page 9. And classification, property class usually equal the recovery period. So property class was 5, the recovery period will be 5. So that's where the GDS 5 comes from. So 5. So knowing the recovery period being 5, we come to our rate table A1. We have the years, pretty much they are the recovery periods on top row. So 5, our asset laptop is a 5-year property class with 5-year recovery period. So we will pay attention to the rate in the column 5-year. And we will copy the rate under 5-year, and that's 6 rates there. So that means we will depreciate it for 6 years. We'll copy those the rate from column 5-year to our rates, our depreciation deduction sheets. So 2032, 19.2, 11.52, 11.52, that's when it became a straight line, and 5.76, and 5.76 for the 6-year. And this spreadsheet works well for 5-year property class and 7-year property class. The recovery period will be 5 and 7 year alternate respectively, and you'll depreciate a 5-year asset in 6 years and a 7-year asset in 8 years. So that's why we have the sheet ending at year 8. So now the depreciation amount will be the basis that we have on top, 1,000 times column 2 rates. So for the first row, year 1, that'll be 1,000 times 20%. For year 2, that'll be 1,000 times 32%. For year 3, that'll be 1,000 on top basis for depreciation. That's all. That's the same one we will use. As long as that basis didn't change due to casualty or theft loss deduction, which in that case you'll stop using this rate and calculate the depreciation deduction on your own. As long as it didn't change, we'll keep going to that rate to that basis for depreciation times the rate that corresponds to the year we are going to file the tax for. So 1,000 times 11.52 for year 4, 1,000 times 11.52 for year 5, and 1,000 times 5.76 for year 6. So the total of column 3 depreciation amount should total to 1,000, the basis for depreciation. So that means we will recover the cost of the laptop within 6 years. The depreciation balance will pretty much be 1,000 minus 200 for year 1, and that will be 800. And for year 2, the depreciation balance will be 1,000 minus, in parentheses, 200 plus 320, and that will be 480, or that will just be 800 minus 320, and that will be 480. And year 3, that will be 480. The balance will be 480 minus 192, if I'm getting it right. But by year 6, it will be 0. So if you get it right, it should be 0 by the end of the year. You'll take the last depreciation deduction. If it's not, you didn't copy the right rates, or you got something wrong. And then column 5, tax year, you put the tax year you will be taking those deductions. So that will be 2020 for year 1, 2021 for year 2, and so forth. And year 6, when you take the last deduction, depreciation deduction for the laptop, it will be 2025. So every year, you just look at the deduction for that particular asset and copy it to your draft for the depreciation deduction. That will go and for the first year 2020, that depreciation deduction will go on line G if that's the only thing you put in service during the tax year 2020 for a 5-year property. And for this laptop particular one, and we can fill up the form with the information, and that's a 5-year property basis is 1,000. The recovery period was GDS/5. The convention was half year, and the method we used was 200 space declining balance, and the deduction for 2020, we can go back to it, is 200. And that's how you'll you'll complete section B part 3, form 45-CC2 depreciation and amortization for your laptop depreciation. And for 2021, if you didn't place any other assets in service in 2021, you do not need to use form 45-CC2. On your business tax form, there should be a place for depreciation, and that's where the amount 320 will go, and so forth. But the year you'll place an asset in service, that year you will have to file form 45-CC2. Let's say in 2022, you place an asset in service, therefore you will use form 45-CC2. So in 2022, 192 depreciation deduction for year 3 for this laptop will go on line 17, part 3, form 45-CC2, line 17. Mark deduction for asset placed in service in tax year beginning before 2020. So you'll put your depreciation deduction for the asset you have been depreciating in the past on line 17, and only section B will be for assets you place in service during the tax year you are filing for. It's because you place them in service for the first year, and that's their first year depreciation that you are required to file form 45-CC2 depreciation and amortization. You do not use this form year after year if you didn't place any asset in service during the year, unless you are filing corporate tax return, form 1120. But if you are a sole proprietor or an L.L.C. or an S Corp, you don't need to use form 45-CC2 unless you place an asset in service during the year you are filing the tax return for, or you use section 179 or you are taking section 179, or you are claiming a carryover of section 179, or you amortize an asset for the first time. Those are the reason why you will use form 45-CC2. Thank you so much. If you are interested in having our Depreciation Worksheet PDF, you'll find it at liberdownload.com. It comes with the Depreciation Worksheet PDF, Business Asset Depreciation Sheets, and it comes with Depreciation Deduction by Assets for assets that are in 5-year and 7-year property class lives. And it comes with an example using a laptop, how to calculate the depreciation deduction. So you will have that, but you still need the links to publication 946 to find the rate table to use, and we have links to the form to the publication 946 under free downloads at ninasoap.com. or you can access it on irs.gov as well as Form 4562. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Afiavi Ojune, Libroman, creators of Libroman Consulting L.L.C. YouTube channel, Libroman Consulting LLC podcast, and NinaSoap.com, our blog. And our downloadable products are at liberdownload.com, and the worksheet comes with a motivational quote to keep you motivated. Thank you so much, you all that subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching our video, and we thank you very much for your comments.